still drive to the Bay Area, which is like north 4 hours, three and a half hours, whatever. And now today I have a shoot in LA, so I have to go 4 hours south. So it was like that way, now this way. At least I got to be home for a couple, like for the whole night and then for most of the morning, and I got to hang out with my doggies because I be liking hanging out with them. My mom gonna say, "Are you coming home today?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Cause you don't be coming home sometimes." And I'm like, "Liar, I always come home." Like, I literally love hanging out with my dogs. I love hanging out at my house. Like, girl, I didn't buy a house, pay this freaking mortgage to not be here. You think I'm gonna buy a house, owe this much money every month, and not be up in this, doing laundry, doing these dishes, hanging out? Got me confused with somebody else. What I'm gonna get a mortgage for and then go pay hotel bills? Like, how does that even make sense? So, but yesterday, so I have like a temporary crown for, they said come back at the end of February, which when I go back, it's 2 days. I go back on the 26th, which is 2 days before the reason that I made this video. So last year, because I've been having all this moving stuff going on, and so it's been, you know, the biggest thing going on in my life is like having to buy this house and move and all of that. But last year, my brother and his wife concocted this plan and gonna say to me and my mom, but they're gonna tell me, well, we want to take my mom to Las Vegas for her birthday because it's one of her big, you know, like one of those big milestone birthdays. And I'm not gonna say her birthday, just, you know, she says she's 36 forever. So just so y'all know, my mom was 36 forever, but she is having a big milestone birthday. So they're like, well, let's take her to Vegas because she's never been. And they're like, we're gonna take her to Vegas. So I'm thinking, well, have fun. I've already been to Vegas. And y'all are saying that you and her are gonna take her. So like, I guess the kids are gonna go with the other grandparents or whatever. Like, I have 2 dogs, so I can't really be just picking up and going places. And my mom is the primary person who watches my dogs when I have to travel. Like right now, my mom is watching my dogs. My mom watched my dog yesterday. I'm very, very fortunate that she's willing to do that, because before I used to have to board them, and the boarding used to be like $160 a night for one dog, which is not so much about the price, but she didn't like it there. She hated going. My dog hated going. So I have 2 dogs, and the boy, he's never been, because he would just stay with my mom. But when my mom couldn't watch both of them, the girl would go, and she didn't like it. She literally, it's like paying to torture her or something. I don't know. She just didn't care, and I thought she would care for it because she's there with her little friends and whatever. And they had like a nice palace setup thing, and you could watch them on the Zoom or whatever the camera was, but you could log in and watch them. So but so now they don't have that where I live. There's no boarding near me. So I'm just assuming, okay, y'all want to take mom to Vegas for her birthday. Fast forward to planning this trip to Vegas, and they're like, well, we got our room, and what are you gonna do about mom's room? And aren't you coming? Aren't you staying with mom? So you and mom get a room, and you and mom get the room, and me and my wife will get our own room. In my head, I'm thinking, how are y'all taking her to Vegas if I'm paying? Now I gotta pay for this trip and figure out what to do with boarding my dogs, or figuring out where to put my dogs, because how am I supposed to go and the person who watches my dog supposed to go on a trip? That don't make no sense. Like, did y'all not think of that? Like, and then the guilt trip starts. Well, we've never taken a family vacation together. We should all go. You can't just bail out because you've been to Vegas before. I'm like, it's not that I'm bailing out. It's that I wasn't even considered. If we're gonna take a trip, might as well go somewhere fun like Hawaii or somewhere where we've all never been. I've been to Vegas. My brother's been to Vegas. My brother's wife has been to Vegas. It's like, we've all been to Vegas. Why are we doing that? What are we doing that for? We could go somewhere fun. Like, we could go to freaking Colorado or something. Somewhere, skiing or something. Somewhere that's like, I know it's Vegas, but, and then I'm looking at the hotel prices. They changed some law in Vegas where they can't, in Nevada or something, where they can't charge concession fees. Like, you can't, it has to be straight the hotel price. It can't be like no fee no more. Because before you go on the website and it would say like the hotel like $100, and then you get there to the property and they're like, oh well, it's a resort fee, and then it's extra tacked on whatever. And sometimes if you're gambling or if you're like a premium member, they waive the resort fee, but they can't do that no more. So I'm looking at these prices. It's $300+ a night for these hotels. I'm like, we could have gotten nice rooms in some. I have a trip also in March to go to Texas, and I'm booking my room for Texas, and the room like 300 and something. It's not even no crazy. Like, it's a nice room in Texas versus where we're going in Vegas. It's just a real standard regular room. Like, explain how that happened. Explain how I end up having to pay for everything, and how we go somewhere that's not even really like that. Craziest finagle I've ever been roped into in my whole life. Because talking about, we want to take mom to Vegas for her birthday, then turns out I'm taking her financially. I'm the one paying for it, and I have to go now. They're just coming along for the ride. We're going to separate parties and just paying for ourselves. What in the blue moon? I was like, but it should be okay. Like, I don't know how my mom is gonna like it, because Vegas is Vegas, and she don't really like people like that. She like being on Twitch. She like listening to her Twitch, and she can't have the phone at the casino. I don't really know if she cares for gambling, but I know she don't like losing money. I know she's misplacing money. She does not like that. So losing money at the casino, which is what it is, like, bring 500, be prepared to lose 500. I don't think she's gonna like that experience. Maybe the food, but she's not really like she's very just go with the flow. So she's not gonna be like, oh, I want to try this specific restaurant or anything. So I'm like, I don't know really if that was the place that she needed to go to Vegas. Like, so we'll see. At least we're not going when it's gonna be hot, too hot out. But I just had a traumatic experience in Vegas where I came back and I got the flu A, whatever, from being in Vegas. So I'm not even from convention. So I'm not even really like dying to get back there where I'm like, oh, I want to. But it's nice whenever I go, I can see friends or whatever, and it'll be nice. I'll be able to see people if I can sneak away. So